let's talk about a couple things real quick. What if you have an employee, what if you have a team member, and they are the hardest, hardcore worker on the team, but they don't get along with everybody? But boy, they work really, really hard. Do a really good job. I mean, just like, man, but they create a lot of friction with the other people on the team. They don't really care about the overall success of the company. They're focused on their effort, and their effort being next to perfect. What's the result?
It's not good.
Tell me why it's not good, Nancy.
Because they're not helping other people.
Okay. It's very important for us to understand that the company is an ecosystem, okay? We all have to work together. And if we don't work together, what happens? What happens if the guys work real, real hard out in the field and they don't turn in their paperwork?
Then I get mad.
Okay, what does it do to you?
Makes it so we can't do our job.
What is the job that you have to do?
Pay them,
One, get them paid. What else?
pay bills,
Pay bills. What else? What about the closeouts? Right?
Make sure everyone's certified.
Make sure all the documentation's there, right? Okay, the job is more than just doing the abatement. Okay? Now let's talk about the culture that we're trying to create and why we're trying to create it. Okay? All right. The culture is about everyone's success together, not just one individual. Right? If you're a superstar, you do really, really well, but a few people around you, you don't deliver for them. Did we succeed or fail? That's right. We understand that engaged employees do lots of good things for us, don't they? They help us recruit, help us retain our customers, they help us get the work done right. They're interested in growth, profitability, so on and so forth, right? That is the emotionally engaged employee. Now ask yourselves, are you concerned about all those things, and do you measure your outcomes in the form of how good can I do it, and how much can I get done, right? Studies indicate that the engaged employees are responsible for creating all the profits of the company. So what are we interested in creating here? Engaged employees, right? And how do we do that? We do that through interaction. And what is the greatest tools of projecting emotional engagement and response?
Talking.
Yep. The face and the voice, right? It is these kinds of interactions that are necessary. We understand that emotionally engaged employees are absolutely vital to what we want to accomplish. What's the profile? Kind of just talk about that real quick. Okay? They're going to be using their talents every single day. So what do we need to do?
Focus on strengths.
Focus on strengths and put them into a position to where they can use their strengths. What if somebody's really good at prep? What do you want them to do? Prep, right? What if they're really, really good at doing floor tile and mastic? We want them doing that, don't we? What if they really have a good ability to get other guys to follow them and work with them? Then we want to lead, don't we? We want them taking a small group of guys and going and doing a really, really good job. Okay? They're intentionally building supportive relationships. And who do you need support of in the field in order for you to succeed? Tell me.
It's a team effort, everyone really.
Okay, the guys on your team or on your crew, yes, right? Because now you've got a team, right? And you're going to be working with the same guys day after day. And so you want to help them grow and learn so that you can too. Now, who else do you have to build supportive relationships with? What about the shop? because they're gonna get you the tools and equipment you need, right? What about the office and making sure that you've got a positive relationship so that everyone gets paid and paid on time, right? If you need some help, it's there. How about your production managers and your estimators and so forth? You wanna build supportive relationships with everybody in the company so it's win-win-win. That constantly needs to be our approach. They're committed to what they do. Now they're going to challenge the purpose to achieve goals. Engaged employees never run out of things to do, because what message does that send to the guys working inside containment?
They don't care.
Okay, the foreman works with the crew doing the work at least 80% of the time. And if they do that, what message does that send?
It's not so seriously, nobody else is, you know?
And the work is the work is what's important, not the position.
It's the work that's important, not the position. I care about you, and you and me, we're in this together. And we're getting this job done together. And I'm here working with you to show you the best way I know how. And who knows, maybe you're gonna show me a little trick that I don't know either. And we're gonna work on this together, and we're gonna get this done together, and we're all gonna succeed together. That's the emotional messaging. Okay? If you're set up to succeed, how do you feel?
Feels good.
Well, yeah, you feel like, hey, man, we can do this, we can make this happen, right? The foreman's gonna work with the crew. The leadman has got his guys, and what's the leadman doing the whole time? Training, teaching, working, getting it done, right? The foreman's job, you know what the number one job of the foreman is? To get everyone else on the crew working up to 100% efficiency. That is also the job of every manager in the company, right? Your job is first to set the conditions to where the people that you're working with, that they can work up to 100% efficient. And then what is your job? The job. That's right. The job is the job. That's exactly right. You gotta get in there and do it, right? Okay, if you are committed to your company and your work group and your role and you're engaged, that's what you're doing. So I'm just gonna ask you to challenge yourself and ask yourself, are you doing that? Yes or no? Can you improve? Yes or no? Will you improve? Yes or no? It's up to you. Okay? This is your career. This is your opportunity to succeed. We're going to set the stage. We're going to set the opportunities. It's up to you to decide whether or not you do it. If you plan, who could tell me for every minute you spend planning, how many minutes will you save? Huh? 10 minutes? 30? Okay, we got 10, we got 30. Well, research indicates that for every 1 minute that you plan, you can potentially save 20. Approximately 20 minutes. If you show up as the foreman, as the leadman, half hour early, and you plan, or the night before you plan, spend 30 minutes planning, you're going to save a bunch of time, aren't you? See, this is important right here. 4 times more likely to evaluate their condition of life as excellent. Now tell me why.
I mean, I think the freedom, you know, when somebody gives you the freedom to really tap your skill and use your talents, you feel good. You feel better as a person. You feel more self-sufficient,
Yep.
accomplished, and I mean, that's what I get from that.
We'll spend a little over 2,000 hours a year working, right? Nearly 2,100 hours. That's a long time, right? Now, if you do that in misery, then you're going to pretty much be miserable all the time, right? But if you do that and you're getting something back and you're happy, then obviously you're going to go home and you're going to bring that positive energy where? To home. You're also going to implement many of the thought processes and the solutions to the challenges you face at home, right? Because if at work it's stressful and people don't resolve things in a positive way and so forth, you're going to go home and it's going to be stressful and you're probably not going to resolve things in a positive way at home, right? We take the lessons that we learn here, we apply them in life. Okay, now let's talk about the not engaged. Who are the not engaged? The not engaged are people that seriously, one day they're sitting there and they're just like, yeah, it's just a job. Hey, I'm here. I'm gonna get some work done, I'll collect my paycheck on Friday, and, you know, that's it. Engagement is a choice. It is a choice. It is simply that you've made a decision that you're going to try harder and that you're going to use your faculties and so forth, and you're really going to try. You're really going to make a difference. If you choose to engage, what happens? Life gets better, you make more money, you go great places, life is great. Build positive relationships, you increase your capacity to succeed. Exhibit gaps and levels of engagement, what makes them less predictable. Meaning, one day you got a good working Joe, and the next day you got a, who the hell knows what that guy's doing, right? Because they just aren't committed. They have not said, I will try, even under difficult circumstances, I will engage and do something great. They may share the values and the vision, but they lack precision, and they really haven't committed themselves to the role, to the group, right? They're waiting for an opportunity to become fully engaged. How do we change that? How do we help them become engaged?
Coaching them, teaching them the culture.
Sure. And sometimes it's a simple invitation. I understand that you are a good guy, okay? And I can see you really got some talent and ability, and I believe in you, and you know, I think that there's more available for you. I invite you to really dig in and try hard, and engage and believe and work hard and succeed together. Let's do this together. It's inviting people to be more than they currently are. How many championships did Scottie Pippen win after Michael Jordan retired? Huh? None. Why? Jeff, why?
Well, he wasn't having Michael do the people were double teaming and triple teaming, and Scotty was getting free layups.
That's right.
He didn't have the leader that was that brought it to it.
Yep. The stage was set differently. Okay, but Michael invited him and the Worm and everybody else to engage and succeed. Sometimes he really pushed them. And they did engage, and they did succeed, and they won 6 rings. Right? Pretty cool. Okay, we get to do the same thing. We get to invite the people around us to engage and succeed together. And that is an invitation that has to be extended frequently. What are they going to do? They're going to meet the basics. They're not necessarily going to act with a great deal of confidence. They're going to give you low risk responses on commitment. Well, we might get it done, we might not. Who knows, right? There's no real sense of achievement. Possible commitment to the organization, but not always the role in the work group. Okay. The bottom line is some people just don't really want to accomplish anything and do anything great, and so they won't commit to it. Okay? If you see these things, look at these things right here. This is your toolbox, guys. When you go onto a job site, you should look and ask yourself, are the guys exhibiting these behaviors? Are they? Yes or no? If they are, then you know that they're not fully engaged. And then whose responsibility is it to change it?
Ours.
It's ours. It's all of ours. Especially foreman and the leadman, because you guys are the ones that are on the front line doing the work. Okay? And you are the one working with those guys. You work with the vast majority of our personnel. Okay? It's here and here. It is here and here. Why is it that some people die in difficult circumstances and give up, and other people succeed and survive?
Resilience.
It's resilience. It's, I will figure out a way to make this work. This is really easy. What are you gonna do? You're gonna talk to the people and you say, here are the demands for this job. Can you do that? Here's the desired outcome. When we're done, this mastic is up and it is clean, and we've done it with this process. Right? Make sure that they get it. There's no misunderstanding. You're going to tweak the fit. Move them around if they need to. Right? Move them from squeegee guy to mop guy. Move them from detail guy, because if you're detail all the time, what does that feel like? That kind of blows, right? I mean, if you're doing the detail on the mastic all the time, if you're always detail guy, no, you gotta move them around. Let it be buffer dude for a little while, right? Everyone wants to be buffer guy, right? Everyone wants to run the buffer. Okay? But the bottom line is you gotta move those roles around a little bit, right? Now here's what's really important. Use very direct dialogue. There's no misunderstanding as to what the expectation is and why. Be very clear. Here's what we gotta get done and here's why. And I need you to specifically do this. Let's do it together. Come on. Right? How about measure progress towards outcomes by rating the performance, not the person. You're not going to say, dude, you suck. Right? You're not going to do that. You're going to say, hey, I can see that you're not making as much progress as you might. How about we do this instead? Right? You're going to talk about how to change it up just a little bit to get a little bit more. Right? You're doing this and it seems to be unsafe. And I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want anything bad. So how about we try and change it and do it this way because it'll be a little safer. Right? Talk very, very clearly about what you want and why. And what you're going to do here is you're going to potentially shift them from the not engaged profile into the engaged profile. If you're able to do that, what's going to happen?
Mental, physical, and the production will go up all around.
Okay?
Teamwork will build up.
Happier, right? They're going to self-manage. They're going to help you get the job done.
They'll start engaging other people.
Exactly. Okay, now remember, this is like that synergistic effect. If you can get the guys on your team engaged and fit that profile, what happens is it changes up a lot. Right? Makes your job run really smooth and easy. Actively disengaged. Now these people really hate their life and hate their role. And unfortunately, we have some of these people on occasion that are in the company and even get into senior roles. And we've got to work with them. We either got to help them change from being actively disengaged to engaged, or we need to do what? Send them down the road. Is it fun to work with that guy? How do you feel when you're working with that guy?
And you don't want to go to work.
Well, you're just like, oh, that sucks, man. I don't want to go there, right? I don't want to work on that dude's crew, right? Have we had foremen and leadmen like that before?
Yes.
Yeah. Are we glad to see him go?
Yes.
Hell yeah, we are. This is important. They are living and breathing obstacles to meeting the customer requirements. They are going to work against you in making the client happy. Serious gaps in the fulfillment of their emotional needs. The scary thing is 30% of them plan on working at the company in a year from now. The normal reaction starts with resistance. Every time you talk to them, you get resistance. There's low trust. I'm okay, everyone else isn't. The whole world's crazy and I'm sane. Right? That's the attitude that you get. They have a very difficult time moving from the problem to the solution. You literally can take this sheet, and when you talk to somebody that you think is emotionally disengaged, you can check these things off. There'll be low commitment to the company work group and role. They will undermine the team and the manager and the role, and they'll do it in kind of sneaky, underhanded ways. We can't have that. What do you do?
Address the problem.
Talk about the problem as soon as you see it. Talk about absolutely exactly what you see in them do and what you want changed. Be very direct and clear. You know, if they're doing a crappy job, they need to know and why. Talk to the person directly, not to anyone else, just to them. Use direct language. Present the problem to avoid confusion. Help them understand that they have to move out of the problem and into the solution. And then what you can do is you can call them out and you just say, look, right now, you know, if we have language that we use here at Eagle, you fit the actively disengaged employee profile. Do you believe that that's who you are? Because look, you're showing me low trust, you're not committed to the role, you know, you're acting out in frustration, you're doing all these things. That's not cool, dude. We need something different from you. And if you piss them off and they walk away, what happens?
It's worse.
No. You have given them the line in the sand. They either have two choices. Change their behavior and become engaged, or leave the company. Those are the only two choices those individuals have. Only two. Fix it, change it, or move the hell on. They got to move out of the problem and into the solution. Review their talent. Are they talented enough to do the role? Yes or no? If that's no, and they don't have the talent, then change the role. And maybe that will correct some of the challenges. Create trust by talking more about the outcomes than about the steps needed to get there.
When people act like that, they're sabotaging also themselves. You know, so really, even explaining to them like you're not even hurt. You're not winning any way around at all. You're
Hurting
you're not
everybody.
you're hurting everybody. You're passive aggressively hurting us, yourself.
We're all in this meeting to learn something today. You cannot be a leader without empathy. Tell me what empathy is.
The ability to understand.
Compassion. Feeling what they feel. Trying to understand or see where they're coming from. After you understand where they're coming from, then you help them get to a new place. Okay? Great leaders build great leaders. I want you guys to be great leaders. I want you to build great leaders around you. You don't want followers, blind followers that, yes sir, I'll just do that. Who cares? You know? We don't need that. We need people that are going to come up with better ideas and help us succeed together. I want you to succeed. 2017 can be our greatest year if we all choose to engage and engage every person that we work with.